Are you finally ready to hear about the moment I was introduced to Eugenia Cooney and her community? It all began on a little website called YouNow when I was just 16 years old. Hungry to make a name for myself on social media after a devastating catfishing scandal that led me to dropping out of high school. Who would have thought that a little $5 subscription fee to Eugenia and her YouNow platform could lead to such chaos? My name is Brayden, and I'm finally blowing the whistle on all things Eugenia Cooney and her community after 8 years of silence. If you're not familiar with YouNow, it is an ancient live streaming social media platform, and I've already made some introduction videos to this, so you can check my page if you really want the lore for that. But if you're not familiar with Eugenia Cooney at this point, what, have you been living under a rock or something? There is a major social media lawsuit happening right now that Eugenia Cooney has found herself in the middle of. For years, despite being sick, Eugenia Cooney has been known as an internet darling of sorts. Because of the social media lawsuit and all the online controversies that are surfacing, Eugenia Cooney has been forced to quit making videos on her online platforms. One evening in August in 2017, Eugenia Cooney was going live on her YouNow platform when I decided to pay $5 to subscribe to her monthly. This $5 subscription fee would grant me access to certain privileges that a regular viewer did not have, such as a number of on-screen messages. On-screen messages were basically the equivalent of TTS things that you see now on streams like the Whatever podcast. Because everybody kind of knew that once you paid the fee, Eugenia Cooney had to respond to the things that you were saying. Like, that's the entire motivation pretty much for people to subscribe in the first place, was the opportunity to be able to get her attention. So that same year, I'd been trying to make it on social media with my original content. And that journey started in a local thrift store, believe it or not. So when I visited this thrift store with only $20 given to me by my father, I was on the lookout for things that I could use as potential props and whatnot for videos. Things that could possibly pull in a little bit of attention, if you will. One of the items that I stumbled across when I was inside of this thrift store was an iconic Monster High onesie. And even though this onesie was for small children, I was able to fit inside of it because I'm only 5'3". You know what? If I still had that same onesie today, I can pretty much guarantee you that I could fit into it still. So I really hope, for the sake of fact-checking and attention, that we can track down these lost tapes from 2017. Because this entire story from start to finish pretty much sounds entirely made up. After paying for my Eugenia Cooney subscription, I immediately started in with the on-screen messages. I remember I was basically just telling her about how I had a new Monster High onesie and I really wanted to show it to her, which she giggled about in typical Eugenia fashion. "Oh, you have a onesie? That's so cool!" Initially, it took a couple of tries of on-screen messages to get up onto the stream, because Eugenia and her mom have serious trust issues. I mean, for good reason. But that's for a later part. So as I was saying, I was using the on-screen messages. Eugenia kept responding to them, but she was very hesitant to have me up. Initially. So then I started talking about how my mom really wanted me to show Eugenia my new onesie. Eugenia basically responded like this. "Oh, your mom wants you to show me your onesie? That's so cool!" And just like that, I was on her broadcast for the first time. Which, if you've ever been privy to any kind of Eugenia Cooney live stream throughout any era on any platform, she has pretty much conducted them all about the same. I kind of think of Eugenia Cooney as a character. Like, I know she's a real person, but what is portrayed online, I believe, is very different from how she actually is in real life. I've seen and heard things from her and other people in the community that have led me to believe that off camera she behaves totally differently. but she does a very good job of playing like she doesn't know what's going on. She's got this whole little voice that she puts on. Like, yes, her voice is her real voice, but she uses it in a way with the inflections and the pitches that is just very different from how she would be talking off of stream. I think the whole reason she likes to go with the whole oblivious act all the time is a defense mechanism of sorts. I believe growing up, Eugenia was bullied quite a bit, and I think she adapted this Eugenia Cooney character sort of persona to protect herself. And you know what? It's worked for a really long time, too. So I mentioned this in the first part of the series, but the whole reason I wanted to go live with Eugenia in the first place was because of the YouTube channel The Most Skinniest Girl in the World. This was a YouTube channel that was known for clipping controversial parts of Eugenia Cooney's live streams and then posting them to YouTube. You know, another thing that's really bizarre about this whole story is how much Eugenia and the community at the time were kind of against the YouTube channel The Most Skinniest Girl in the World. It was so funny to me because they would always treat it like it was a hate page, but it wasn't even a tea page really, or a page that would share any kind of opinions. It was literally just clips of Eugenia and her streams. Alright, this is starting to get really long, all these Eugenia videos do, and the fact that we're barely even into anything yet is crazy work. I'll see you in the next chapter.